So my name is Alyssa Hooper, and I was involved in the Honors Mentorship Program at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, the one at the Avenues in Forsyth. And I had 3 rotations in choa. So the first one was orthotics and prosthetics, which is like braces and artificial limbs. And then the second one was speech pathology. And then the third one I'll do after spring break, and it's physical therapy. So I was in speech pathology the longest. So I wanted to do my capstone project on that, and speech pathology is just someone who helps children with learning disabilities or speech impediments or just delays that they might have. So my essential question is, what impact does early speech intervention have on a child, and how do those interventions lead to a greater success in the future? Okay, so along the way we did annotated bibliographies that just kind of helped give info about our essential questions. So my first one was on orthotics, so that was when I was just kind of getting into it. But as I went through my mentorship, I kind of started talking about more and speech and just the effect that early intervention has on a child. So my third annotated bibliography really identified the benefits of tackling speech early on, and just that a children's brain is developing when they are young, so it is essential to start early intervention when they are young because their brain is, again, like I said, developing. So it definitely influences that. And so just a little bit about, so during my experience at Honors Mentorship, I've learned a lot that I can take and apply to college, because I'll be in college next year. And so this program has allowed me to find a deep interest that I never knew I had, because going in I thought like, oh, maybe sports medicine, but I really learned that I would like speech pathology. So this program has allowed me to reach my fullest potential as a high school student, and this will definitely help me in the future. And so just my research, kind of a little bit going into the program. So going in, my grandma was a nurse, so that's why I kind of wanted to like get into the program, but I really never knew like all the different aspects of choa that they had to offer. So after kind of being there, I really learned that speech pathology impacts a child greatly. And so what I knew or assumed going into it was like, oh, speech pathology was just helping them like pronunciate words, but I never really knew how they did that. So I thought it was interesting that like lots of kids came in with problems with like their K's and their G sounds, and so we learned that it is produced in the back of your throat, so like your tongue has to almost hit the back. So they would do different exercises with like sticks and just kind of like placing the tongue where it needs to be able to pronunciate those words. And also letters like T and L, so those would be the opposite because it's in the front of your mouth. So it's just really important like where the tongue and the teeth go in pronouncing the words. So I thought that was very interesting. And they made it really fun for the kids because they would play games as they went. So like they'd practice some and then they'd go to games. So they really never knew that they were learning at the same time, which I thought was interesting and just cool for them. And so I learned that about 80% of children will have speech delays, but only about 20% do not outgrow the speech delay. So it is very essential just to help this 20%, again, because the brain is developing, and that it'll also improve their social and emotional skills. And then I had my interview with my speech pathologist, Miss Karen Keegan, and I just asked her a couple questions about the field that I wasn't really sure about. So she, her major was in linguistics, which is just like language, and you have to go to school about 2 additional years after college. And so just like I was saying, what I discovered that like the tongue and the lip and just like the teeth, it's very essential like where all the placements go. So I really think that like I would enjoy this career going into the future just because I've learned so much throughout this program. And then just my blog. So each week after our mentorship, we would just have a blog that would again help us create our essential question and just kind of reflect on our experience. So there's a bunch of blogs. We did one every week, so there's about 30, and it just talks about like the different work ethic that goes in, and like we had our graphic organizers, which helped us do the annotated bibliography and like reflections on your experience that week. And so there was just many things that helped us going into each week.